Had a little apple on the way home, celebrating a couple of third place finishes, but good races, you know. And to start with, Mother Nature was very kind to us tonight. It was supposed to be a messy night. By the time I had got on the track, it was a little bit tacky, and by the time we raced, they were taking the fenders off, which was very, very good. I doubt we'll be that lucky tomorrow. It's supposed to actually, they changed the forecast tomorrow morning. It's supposed to be sunny now, so we'll be able to get some work into the horses. But by afternoon, it's supposed to start raining here, and if I'm super lucky, I'll only catch the start of it in the meadows, maybe, which is likely wishful thinking. So tonight we George the Jungle, and we had our boy Vehement. Now Vehement hasn't raced in a couple of weeks. In fact, the last guy that drove Vehement has got a full-on tan now in Florida for sure. Mike Wilder's been gone well over a week, and I don't know the last time Vehement raced, but it has to be 2 weeks. Tim had trained him up hard on the weekend, but you can only do so much, especially when you're coming in with a horse that trotted with 59 2 minutes in his first victory at the Meadows, and then they're at 3/4 127 and a piece, 2 weeks removed from racing. That's a big ask. And I can tell you that Vehement left it all on the track. He did whatever he could, finished up as well as he could, raced as well as he could, and certainly impressed with him tonight. Sure, I'd love to see him go win in 56, but these are baby steps, right? This is the start of this horse's career, when we can start changing his shoes around. Just something that might create a little more speed, then keep him a little more stable as you start to inch forward, shoeing wise on him, equipment wise with him. I think what you're going to be left with, at some point over the winter, is a pretty handy horse. Now again, keep in mind he's got no money made, so this also is a horse, if he looks, he's going to be able to trot in 56, 57 as we move through the winter. Over to Mohawk will be a good spot for him also, but we'll see how that all plays out. As for tonight, we're going to stay the course exactly how it is. We're going to race him either here or the Meadows. Either or is fine with me. He fits in both places. Now, George of the Jungle, a little bit other side of the spectrum. He was not short, but has not been putting in his best efforts. We were working on him all week. He did feel more comfortable, did finish up his mile, his last quarter in 29 and 1 mile, 59 and 2. Both of them trotted in 59 tonight. I think George has a lot more to offer. We just can't ask for too much. You're always teetering on the, his knees bother him, his feet bother him. He is good right now, so we probably will train him up in between starts to try and have him razor sharp. We will work on his feet, and we will have him a little bit better for the final. I think if we draw good, get a favorable trip, he has a decent shot. I would say if I was to handicap the field right now for the final, everybody equal draw, I would say he's about a 4 or 5 to 1 shot in the final. He has a chance, make no mistake. So I was happy with both horses tonight. I had a note from somebody saying, why didn't Love and Affection get in? Well, it's simple. They went with one race instead of the 3 that we entered, and took Casanova Hall because he had a better date. It's the only reason. Now, Casanova Hall trained well for my partners today. His shoes aren't pretty. I mean, I trained him this morning, and he blew a big pus pocket out of the outside of his left front foot, and a little bit of a spot opened up on the inside of his right front foot. So he went to a mushroom bar left front and just left his aluminum shoe on right front. That was far from ideal. On the meter of Super Crafty Short Horseman on the right and Pig Farmer on the left, we were really trending towards the left on today's training. But I'll tell you what, he trained great, and it wouldn't bother me in the least to race him. That meter might just slip a little bit further to the left come Sunday, because he may just stay with exactly what he has on today, because he trained very, very good. So we'll say very similar situation to Vehement. Going to be a little short, but Casanova Hall has a lot to offer, and I was really happy with the way he trained today, the way he came out of his trip. He's not quite 100% on that foot. That's why he needs that shoe, but Carrie and Lauren and Jason are doing a great job over on that side of the barn. They'll have him good for Sunday night. Love and Affection to my partners will be in on Wednesday. Now, we're bouncing around horses that will go in. We are going to move some horses over the next 2 weeks, and that will likely be predicated on who's getting in, right? When we have to enter 3 and they go with one class, well, guess what? 2 of those horses might end up on that list to be sold in 2 weeks. We're doing our best you have to understand, this isn't Monopoly, right? This isn't Battleship. We're trying. The game is always changing, right? The playing field is always shifting. Before, they would go with 1, 2, or even 3 of those classes on any given Wednesday or Sunday night. But there just seems to be an influx of horses. There's 200 horses in the box here every night now. Tons of horses in Dayton. Hoosier is about to close. Where are we going to get our horses in? Who is going to get in full time? How many of them can get in full time? And then we may have to make some decisions on our squad as we move forward. A couple of those horses may be moved out. Some horses will be moved in that will get an opportunity, but that's my job, is to read the tea leaves, I guess, at this point, because there is no rhyme or reason of what is going and not going. There's a claiming series on right now. I fancy like we may lose her on Sunday evening. She's in a 15 claimer, goes for 25. Her allowance might keep her safe. It may not. She's a nice filly that could probably do some damage in that class. Up next will be the claiming series. 15, 30. Might be where, I think there's 15, 20, 30 if I'm not mistaken. Might be worth looking at picking up a couple of claimers for that series, but before you get all giggly and say, oh, I like claimers, you're only going to have them a week probably. So let's look around for some competitive horses. Wouldn't it be nice to grab one for 13 or 14 that could do the 15? Grab one for 17, 18, 19 that could do the 20. So we're not giving away $1 for $1. But that in itself is much easier said than done. So right now we're going to take a serious look at what's getting in, what's not getting in. I was happy to see Admiral Dio Indigo Thursday night. I was happy to see Drebin's name until I saw the number beside it. Oh, 10-hole. Coming in short with the 10-hole. Just about as shitty as it gets. But, excuse my French, a little frustrating. Right here, you're trying to do the right thing. You've got a good class. He can probably do good in. Schooled good last week. Coming in fairly tight, pretty sharp. And here's the 10-hole. It's never easy, so it's a constant battle. The ebb and flow of horse racing, and it's not just the ebb and flow. It's many ebbs and flows because it changes weekly, monthly, throughout the fall into the winter. And as we get this change, now we get this influx. There'll be a ton of Indiana horses on the market over the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So my job will be maybe have a look at who's going to get in full time in Northfield or in the Meadows or maybe in Dayton, because we're going to swap some of our horses out for horses that are going to get in every week. That's the plan anyway. So with that, I'm going to let you go. A decent night, a couple of thirds from a couple of soldiers that were not coming in razor sharp. George, although he is tight, wasn't without his imperfections tonight, but was better. That 29-1 on the end of it, or 29-2 proves that. I think it was 1. He raced well. I was happy with him, and I think we can improve on that for the final. And then you have Vehement, who definitely can improve. The horse was short. And he got around a half, which is another feather in his cap. So a couple of good stories coming out of tonight. We got lots going on the rest of the week, racing here and at the Meadows tomorrow. If we're really lucky, I can miss the rain at the Meadows. I just don't see how it's possible to miss it at Northfield tomorrow night, but who knows. Thursday, Meadows and Dayton. Friday, Meadows and Dayton. It should be an action-packed weekend. So, rest of the week into the weekend. So with that, I'll let you go. Have a wonderful rest of your night. All 2 hours and 56 minutes of it. I will talk to you all tomorrow.